All right, you guys, we're going to be going over my full Funko Pop collection. Don't worry about this stuff on the wall right now. Those are not the Pops I'm interested in. In fact, all those more Rick and Mortys and crap, I'm trying to get rid of them. If you want them, come pick them up, right? I do like Mirio, but Mirio, his pop is not good, right? He, as a character, right, he's pretty cool in My Hero, but, you know, his pop is just, it's not that cool. And Suguru Geto, right, I could keep that one. I don't mind keeping that. Same with Kakashi down there, right? Pretty much the middle row and Deadpool are the only ones I really want to get rid of, and that Star Wars crap. But let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into what you guys want to see. Now, we're going to start with the die casts, right? Because the die casts, those are really cool and really hard to move, right? You got to kind of hold the bottom in order to keep it together. But we've got die cast Thor, right? Probably one of the coolest Funko Pops I own, right? Underrated in my collection. And it's not even the chase, which I find weird, because let me show you the chase Black Panther, right? He's like totally silver. He's like a statue. And yeah, it's really cool, but I think I like the non-chase versions better because they have the colors, right? The colors are just such a great addition. Really, it's kind of backwards how they have the more representative version of the character portrayed in the common rather than the chase. I just find that interesting. All right, so let's go over the out-of-box pops that I have, right? I still have the box, I still own the box, but they're just gonna stay out of the box because they're really cool. We have Gear 5 Luffy, right? One of the coolest out-of-box pops in this video, right? There's another one that's really cool. I'll mention that when I get to it, but this, you can't really beat that. The purple glow and the like glowing eyes is really cool, right? Goofy, it captures the goofiness of Gear 5 with the hand out, stretched out. Perfect. Also, we have Naruto riding Gamakichi, right? I'm gonna start with the big three, I guess, even though Bleach is buried, right? So we'll get to Bleach later, but Naruto is a really cool pop, especially. Actually, I think this might be the best Naruto pop, honestly. And we're gonna pull out, well, I guess we'll stick with One Piece because we have most of One Piece out of box anyways. We have Vivi riding Kaoru, right? Really cool pop as well. Probably the only Vivi pop out there, pretty sure. Awesome pop. If you haven't picked that one up yet, I'm pretty sure it's still on the shelves in GameStop, right? So check that out. We've got Nami riding the, I guess, what is it, the Mini Mary or something? Or I think this was when they had the goat ship. Yeah, that's the Mary, right? The Mary, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The Sunny's the new ship. All right. Next, we've got Kizaru. Pretty sure that was his name. Kizaru Borsalino. Yeah. His pop box just says Borsalino, but this guy, he was like the coolest character ever since he showed up in the show, right? Every second he's on screen, he's clean, he's tough, taking stuff down, rock with him. Right? We've got Soba Sanji. Really cool pop as well. I'm getting another Sanji as well. It's like the Egghead Sanji. Really cool pop. But I believe this is Sanji and Wano for a while. Another pop that is coming in is right, Raiju, Sanji's sister. So also a really cool pop as well, right? Here we have Aokiji, another admiral. Really cool character as well. I don't like the way that his face is kind of shaped, right? His face is shaped kind of weird. All right, but still, the ice on him, really cool. But I couldn't keep him in the box looking the way that he did. Right, I had to pose him a little bit. Awesome pops. And of course, we have a pop of ourself, right? Representing the dumbbell because I like to work out, the headphones because I like music. Yeah, looks just like me. Cool. Except now I have hair Didn't have hair back then. All right, so you see all the good stuff on the wall, but we're gonna continue through the collection with some of our more expensive ones. Light Yagami, right, from Death Note. These ones are pretty rare, right? People will spend a lot of money for these guys right here. Rock with that one. That's one of my favorites. And I don't know where my other Death Note one went, so I guess we'll just skip ahead a little bit to Armin Allert, right? He's a Chalice Collectibles exclusive. Really cool pop. I like how he's a little bit metallic. I was gonna sell this one, but I know I'm probably just gonna keep him because I know if I try to sell it, people aren't gonna pay for what it's worth. So I might as well just hold on to it, you know. Because these guys are very cheap when they're buying until they realize that you're not going to sell it. Then they have to beg you for it, and then the negotiation is on your terms. So whenever someone wants that one, they're going to come to me. And they're going to make an offer I like, right? Same with Sasha. Really cool pop, right? One of the best characters in Attack on Titan, but not one of my favorites, right? I'll tell you my favorites are Erwin, maybe Aaron. Yeah, I think those are my top two. And I think I'm leaning more towards Erwin, right? He's a really cool character. Let's get back to Death Note. We found L, right? Now there are about 4 Death Note pops, right? Ryuk, he's like big-headed, right? He's looking kind of weird. Look at him, right? Looking kind of weird. That's the only reason I don't have that one. And then we've got L with Cake. L with Cake goes for a bit more money than just normal L, but I feel like normal L is kind of cooler, right? The way his eyes is. I don't know. He looks kind of dead or something. All right. Now, speaking of dead, we have The Walking Dead, right? Morgan, this crazy dude, right? He's talking about, I have to clear all this crap, right? This guy was wild. He eventually went to like Fear the Walking Dead or something. I didn't finish that show because it was kind of bad. Like it was good in some areas, but in some areas I just didn't like it. I didn't like the characters much, like overall. That's why they had to bring Walking Dead characters in there to just bring the show back to life, because all their normal characters kind of sucked. All right, back to One Piece. We have Rono Zoro, right? I think this is the design on his outfit is really cool with the sword sticking out. Really cool, but I wish it wasn't a glow, right? His hair just doesn't look fitting for who Zoro is, but the figure itself, it looks cool, so picked it up. Cody exclusive, glows in the dark. Should I try to show the glows? No, I'm not going to show the glows. We've got lighting going on, right? So might as well just not. Next up, we have Mikasa Ackerman, right? Now, I was going to sell this one as well, but look at the figure. The figure is so nice, I just had to hang on to it, right? Told the guy that I was going to sell it to, like, no, I'm going to keep this one, right? Metallic as well. Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. Awesome, right? Probably one of the coolest actual figures that I own. And I would have taken this one out the box if it hadn't been that it just looks so good in the box, right? Like if they had any additional stickers or any additional stuff on the screen covering up the actual pop, I probably would have taken it out the box. But you know, that's the way things roll. If it looks cool in the box, might as well keep it in the box. Am I right? Because some people, they keep them as like toys, right? They just, ooh, Naruto just took a nosedive, right? We gotta keep them taken care of, right? You don't want to chip your paint or nothing. Anyways, some people keep them as like toys on the shelf like that, and that's not bad, right? I do that with some of mine, but I'd rather keep them in the box as like a decorative item because I feel like they look better in the box, right? Like not like these guys. These guys are ugly, but some boxes are really cool. Like, for example, Daenerys Targaryen, right? Looks really, really cool in the box, right? Now, this is a very expensive pop, right? This is probably one of the most expensive pops that I own, right? When I got it, it was going for like $600. I didn't get it for $600, but I did pay a hefty price for it. It's an NFT, right? One of the only NFT that I own. And there's only 999 pieces out there of this pop, right? And the reason I got it is because I wanted the Game of Thrones pops of this character. And it was the only pop out there that I found that actually looked decent, right? The other ones had like a screwed up, like misshapen head and all this crap. And I was like, well, I'm not going to put up with that. If I'm gonna put this into my collection, I'm gonna get the best, right? So I got the best. And that's what I do with most of my pops. I get the best. And I can say the same thing for Thanos, right? All the other versions of Thanos suck, right? And I hate that they made this one a bobblehead, right? They do that with all of the Disney pops, or I guess you could say Disney. But I don't know if Mulan down there is a bobblehead, but I know Star Wars is bobblehead, Marvel's bobblehead, and I don't like it for all of them, but, you know, it's doable, right? I'm definitely going to keep this guy in the box so I don't see his head jingling around, but really cool pop, right? Definitely the best Thanos version out there. He's holding the gauntlet, man. Doesn't get much more tough than that. And you know, you can't cover Thanos without his counterpart, Iron Man, snapping the finger. Really cool pop, right? And it's such an iconic moment in the MCU. Probably right, when he snapped that finger, the MCU died. I'll tell you that. And it was on a downward spiral before that. But after this, they got rid of all their good characters and they killed it. They left us with like Captain Marvel and Nerd Hulk, right? Right? They tarnished Thor's character. They basically ruined the brand right after that moment. So, yeah, it is definitely the end of an era right there. I had to get that pop. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about All Might with the signature, right? It's signed by, I'm pretty sure it's Christopher Sabat, right? The English voice actor. I don't know if that, yeah, Christopher Sabat. And it is certified by who? Don't know exactly who that certification is from, but it is definitely certified, right? Awesome pop. It's not PSA, I don't think. Pop Authentication Services. Is that PSA? I don't know. But yeah, really cool, and it looks really good on the shelf. Let's just be honest. I have other My Hero Academia pops, but that other one is like it's a two-person thing, and it's stuck to the wall, so I'm probably not going to show that one unless I show it like at the very end. Let's get to the less exciting ones, right? We have Hinata. I would get rid of this one if I knew I was going to get paid a fair price for it, right? I still might do it, right? People might pay for this one, but I feel like it'll go up in value with a little bit more time. So I'll hold on to it for now. Especially if Naruto does anything else, right, with their series, which they should. I mean, One Piece is doing something else with their series. They're getting a whole remake, and I think Naruto needs that as well. And Bleach, honestly, right? Bleach's first show kind of sucks. We've got Tobias Well, this racist dude, right? Really funny character. I mean, the lines you got from this guy was crazy, right? Awesome character. Black Lightning as a show overall isn't that good, but it's kind of like Sharknado, right? You put it on, right? You have a laugh, and then you could tell the people that made this were having fun. So, yeah, it's not the best, but it's still enjoyable. All right, let's move on to the first anime I ever watched, right? One Punch Man's Terrible Tornado Tatsumaki, right? The only reason I have this one, right, isn't because of this, right? The figure itself looks like crap, but on the side we've got art of the character, right? So I had to rock One Punch Man because it again was the first anime I've ever watched, and we've got the fan art on the side. I'm not sure the artist's name, but it was my supplier, right? The guy I go to on Whatnot, right? And he makes fan art, so, or his friend makes fan art on the pops. Right, I've got one more like that, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, back to One Piece. We have Monkey D. Luffy. Now this is the Hot Topic exclusive one, right? This isn't the common, but I swapped the boxes because I got both of them, because this one is kind of metallic and you can see the pop figure better in the common box, right? That's why I did it, and I had this one as a decorative item, right? So we have the coolest version of the pop, metallic, reflecting off the lights, inside of the box that you can actually see him in, right? And I'll show you guys the other one. I'll have to get up to show you that. Let's hold it. Oh, I can pause this. All right, and here is the common in the swapped box, right? Yeah, the box for the exclusive, yeah, it looks cool, but you really just can't see the figure as well. You know what I'm saying? And the figure itself looks way better in the exclusive than it does the common, right? They're swapped right now, so you can really tell the difference. All right. So next up, we've got Egghead Nico Robin. Really cool pop, really cool character as well, right? One of my favorite characters in One Piece. Awesome. And the Egghead fit is tough. And Egghead is actually one of my favorite arcs in One Piece, if I'm being honest. Next up, we've got Spider-Punk from Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse. Really cool pop as well. Right, one of my favorite characters in that series too. Was he in the first movie? I don't remember whether he was in the first movie or not. He probably was. I don't know, but really cool pops as well. Sticking to Spider-Verse, let me grab these guys. We've got Spider-Gwen, right? Really cool pop, Marvel exclusive, Collector Corps, right? Awesome. With the mask off, right? I didn't like the one with the mask on exactly. Right? This one is definitely the best Gwen out there. And I have to say the same with the Miles, right? OG fit. Into the Spider-Verse. It's not the same as the others. Really cool makeshift Spider-Man costume for Miles, right? Awesome pops there. I guess we'll stick with the superheroes and we'll go over to Homelander. This guy is not really a hero, actually. This guy's kind of crazy, kind of obsessed with milk, man. I don't know about this guy. I tried to get rid of this one. I'm probably gonna sell him, right? Not a huge fan of the boys. The boys, it gets a little sickening sometimes when you're watching it. So, yeah, it's something. All right, Winter Soldier, right? Really cool pop of this guy. Is he a bobblehead? Yes, he's a bobblehead. If he wasn't a bobblehead, he'd be much better. But he's holding the Captain America shield, right? And that's really cool. That's cool. I'll probably sell this one as well. Right, not the best. Then we've got to talk about some of our other crazy characters. I know we did Homelander a pop ago, but we got to talk about Leafa. Now, Leafa is a mess. Leafa is the most crooked character in Sword Art Online, right? Inbreed or something, right? This chick was crazy. But every time I see this pop, I just I start to laugh, man. It's different. It's different. Sword Art Online isn't a good show. It isn't a bad show, right? Definitely better than most anime, but there's some things in that frustrate me. All right. It's like every time they start doing something right, they start making the same mistakes they made in season 1 about halfway through when they ruined it. Right? It was going so well, and then things just it took a turn for the worse. Anyways, next up, we've got Negan from The Walking Dead, one of the coolest characters in that show, right? With the baseball bat and the blood splatter. That's awesome, right? Now, the only other pop I have with blood splatter is this guy. And this guy, you already know about him. We got to get rid of him. Terrible pops there. But I'm pretty sure they go for like a decent amount of money. I'm pretty sure. So I probably shouldn't, I wouldn't have a hard time selling them if people actually want them. Right? I don't know anyone who likes Rick and Morty. It's kind of trash. But The Walking Dead is not trash, and I'm not selling this pop. I'm actually hanging on to it, right? Grew up on this show. I'm not going to abandon it like that. Again, I told you guys that I would warn you when I came across another pop that would look just as great out of box as this guy. Here he is. Ichigo, the Chase, right? The metallic Chase. Amazing pop here, right? Is this, which version of Ichigo is this? I don't remember, but definitely one of the coolest anime characters out there. One of the coolest anime protagonists out there, right beside Luffy, I'd say. And speaking of great anime protagonists, let me scroll back here and grab Frieren. We're just gonna stick with the protagonist for now, right? Frieren, amazing character here. And actually, I have another Frieren. Let me go grab that. Stuck in the Mimic, right? Really cool pop as well. Iconic moments from the show. Amazing pops here. And again, I said we're going to stick with the protagonist. We have another sideways pop, Yuji Itadori, right? Watching the movie with that little thing that punches him in the face. Awesome pop. Does he got a popcorn or a drink? I think that's a drink, right? Pretty cool. We're about, what, halfway? Halfway? I want to say halfway. Eren Yeager, Titan form, right? This one goes for quite a bit of money as well, right? Just like the Death Note, just like the Daenerys Targaryen. This one, quite expensive. I wouldn't sell them for less than $100, maybe $200. But awesome pop. I wouldn't sell this one at all, actually. Right? Really cool. And in great condition. OG as well. Let's pull out our pretty cool side characters. Since we just went over Frieren, let's pull out Fern, right? Probably the second best character in the show, right? Thought about buying the others, but nah. Maybe Himmel Chase, because Himmel Chase is like glistening, but nah. Don't need any of the other characters, just Frieren and Fern, right? Those are really cool characters. All right. Now let's get to the better ones. Let's get to Maruda Uchiha, right? Pretty sure this is his final form when he was doing the Ultimate Tsukinomi, right? Really cool Expo exclusive from 2024. Amazing pop. I gave people a chance to buy this one, right, for a really good deal, but now I'm looking at it, I'm not going to sell this. Like, what are we talking about? What was I talking about? I was tripping. Amazing pop, right? This is probably the best one I own. You know, I say that a lot. This one's probably the best one I own over and over again because, like, individually they look so cool, but then you put them beside a better one and you're like, okay, I can see how this one's slightly better. But I don't exactly have a favorite just yet. Or do I? Let me think. No, I think right now my favorite is that Luffy. The Egghead Luffy. That's an amazing pop. Speaking of One Piece, we have to go back to Boa Hancock. Now, why do we have this Boa? Boa is a really interesting character. Very interesting power with this character, right? Probably beats most of these characters in fiction, but it's got the art on the side. Now, there are some things about Boa Hancock that are reasonable why you wouldn't want this pop, but no, she is a cool character, and the art just sold me on it, right? That's why I bought it. Again, from that guy on Whatnot that supplies me with the pops. I saw that art, I had to get it. Let's get back to, well, we've got one more One Piece, I'm pretty sure. Do we have any? Well, actually, no. We do have a couple more, maybe like 2 more. Anyways, Nami. Again, this is like Fishman Island Nami, right? Really cool pop as well. Or is it Fishman Island? It might be Dressrosa. Yeah, who knows? Really cool pop. And Luffy, right? OG Luffy. I'm pretty sure it's not actually OG. It's like re-release of the OG, right? Because he doesn't have the glistening hair. He has the matte hair. But again, if he had that glistening hair, it'd go for a lot of money. But no, it's just the common. I got it for 13 bucks. So I enjoy it, right? I really like this character, and I really like how I've collected a lot of the versions of him. I'm probably going to have to get more because there are a whole lot of One Piece pops. Like, that's probably the biggest, well, no, Naruto is probably the biggest anime chain that they have. I don't know. But One Piece is pretty big. They have a whole lot of them. A ton of them. Characters that you wouldn't even think they'd have. You see Smoker running around here, man. All right. Back to The Walking Dead. We have Biker Daryl, right? With the crossbow. Pretty cool. And the knife. Daggone. They went all out with this guy. He looks tired, man. Yeah. Really encapsulates this guy character, and it's the previews exclusive, PX previews, right? I've never even heard of that one, right? That's the first exclusive I've heard of from these guys, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Speaking of iconic shows, right? Tokyo from Casa de Papel, otherwise known as House of Paper or Money Heist on Netflix, right? Really cool show, right? I enjoyed it. Definitely a exciting one, but it wasn't like the best show, but it was pretty cool. Next, we have another show that I kind of grew up on, was the Animal Planet guy, Steve Irwin, Mighty Croc. R.I.P. Steve Irwin, right? He was a really cool guy, and he did amazing stuff with the animals, right? Awesome. And there was a chase where he was with the turtles, but I felt like the crocodile was better, right? Because I remember specifically that he was the guy who said Mighty Croc, right? So I had to get the crocodile. Really awesome. Or the alligator. Is that an alligator or a crocodile that he's holding? I don't know. But I remember he said Mighty Croc a lot. All right. Let's stick with the little cool TV shows. And we're going to pull out The 100, right? 2 of my favorite characters from this show, Lincoln and Raven, right? Awesome pops. Didn't even know this show had Funko Pops, but they do. And I bought them, right? The only thing about this one is like this one, I had to buy him damaged, right? He's like dented, but the thing about damaged pops is if it's not too bad, if it's just like a dent or 2, you can really put them in a protector and they look just as good. Like the buy as well I showed you. The reason he was in a protector is because he was damaged. But it's not terrible, right? I got a good deal on him. And just for like the same amount of enjoyment that I get from the other pops on my shelf. Like, I like damaged pops. Like, if you're selling damaged pops, that's better for me because I get a discount. All right? And it would make resale kind of kind of hell, but yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Raven is in good condition, I'm pretty sure, right? Raven's cool. And how many others do they have? They have like Octavia, they have Bellamy, they have Lexa. We don't want Lexa, and Clark. We don't want Clark. Bellamy might be the next one that I'm hopefully getting. Maybe Octavia, but Octavia kind of turned into a bad character towards the end, and they did Bellamy wrong. So Bellamy definitely probably the next one that I'll get if I get any more. But really cool, right? These go for a pretty good amount of money too, right? They're hard to find. All right, let's go grab. Well, since we just did the legend, Steve Irwin, might as well show off Stan Lee, R.I.P. Stan Lee, right? Another legend in his own right. Really cool. And I think that this is the best pop of Stan Lee, right? There's a lot of them, but I like the autograph, like kind of signature style that they have right here with his name. But yeah, the statue for the legend, of course. Yeah, we'd have to get this one above all else. And this one is kind of hard to find, but it doesn't go for that much money. I wouldn't sell it anyways, right? Captain America, eyes closed, holding the shield, right? We just did Stan Lee, so we might as well show off one of his characters, or a Marvel character. I'm pretty sure he's like the father of Marvel, right? So he created Captain America, right? I think so. Anyways, really cool character. Eyes closed, holding the shield. That's probably the best version of him out there as well. Amazing pop. All right. And speaking of Marvel characters, we're going to go right back with Green Goblin. Ignore that Spider-Man No Way Home up there because we got him for the OG Spider-Man movies. That's a Tom Holland Spider-Man up there. Get him out of here because we got him for this, right? Looking cool as heck. Awesome, right? Grew up on Green Goblin as well. He used to run around at 3 years old in a Spider-Man suit, right? So it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. One of my favorite movies growing up. Let's see. Oh wait, I do have more One Piece. We'll do those guys last. But yeah, I guess we'll go to League of Legends, right? We got Arcane, right? This series was just amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It's kind of like a Spider-Verse like animation or something, but it's like it's very unique, right? I've never seen anything done like it before, and the story they told was immaculate. I don't know what they were thinking in season 2, but season 1 was definitely, it was so perfect that it felt artificial a little bit. Amazing, right? One of the best shows I've seen in a long time, right? I've got a whole art book about it, and huge fan of that. And then this one I have for a different reason, right? She wasn't in the show. This is a character that I got because one of my favorite artists, Keenan Lafferty, actually drew her on her YouTube channel, and that video taught me a lot about how to do art. So I had to get the character, right? And I really want to get some of his art like on this, or maybe like stuck in here or something, right? All I got to do is print it off or something, or maybe send it to him and see if he'll do it. But really cool, right? Really cool pop there. Let me see. All right, let's get over here. We have another Jujutsu Kaisen pop, right? Funko Shop exclusive, signed by the voice actor. I don't remember which voice actor this was, but it is PSA certified. So really cool pop as well. And I'm pretty sure this is like one of the best versions of Nobara you can get. The one with the tattoos and stuff. She was fighting that guy in season 1, which isn't the best season of this show. Season 1 kind of sucked, if you ask me. Season 2 is where things got really good. So, but that is one of the best characters in the show, right? Other than like Sukuna, Yeah, she is one of the best characters, right? You've also got Itadori, right? You've got Gojo. I don't like Gojo very much. Or that one guy, Toji. Is that his name? Toji was cool. The guy who freaking hopped out of the domain expansion. That was awesome. All right, again, repping One Punch Man, we have Saitama, right? The One Punch Man himself, the legend holding the groceries. That represents his character so well. Bait exclusive, right? Really cool Funko Pop. Possibly one of the best that I own. Again, told you I say that a lot. All right, so let's go. Let's grab another one of these top 10 anime, right? In case you're wondering what the top 10 anime are, it's Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, One Piece, Evangelion. I think Freeren's in there. Yeah, Freeren should be in there. Your Name. Dang, what else? I know I'm forgetting another good one. But put that aside for now because we've got Evangelion right here, right? Shinji, right? This dude was gay, but but really a cool character and a cool show, right? This show is probably one of the most psychological anime you'll ever watch. Legendary, right? Goes down as one of the greatest of all time. Again, Rei Ayanami, right? Really cool character, as well as Asuka, really cool character. And the thing about Asuka, it's hard to find her in the actual suit, right? You always find the like school uniform one, which is like for one episode. It sucks, right? Really, really terrible pop. But these ones, right, in the Eva suits, great Funko Pops there. Now, we've got a few more One Piece and one other pop, right? I bet you're guessing what it is. Let me show you. Airman from the Air Force, right? This is really great pop. Got family in the Air Force, right? Two of my brothers been in there and my parents, right? So, gotta have the Airman repping the Air Force. I tried to join the Air Force, but I couldn't. 4 reasons. Now, we've got more One Piece. Let's show you guys some of these. Shanks, right? Really cool Funko Pop here. Got the scar on his eyes. Got the cape covering his decapitated or what's the word for it? I guess chopped off, dismembered. His dismembered limb, right? Really cool Funko Pop. I wish you knew a bit more about his character, but until he's determined to be a terrible character, right, we're gonna hold on to this. But if he's determined to be crap, we're gonna get rid of him. But I want to know more about this guy. He's definitely got a lot of lore to him, and oh man, yeah, I'm excited to hear more about Shanks whenever Oda decides to get around to it. All right, next, Vinsmoke Sanji. Which one was this? He's like, I don't remember. I don't remember when Sanji. I'm pretty sure this is like Whole Cake Sanji. I'm guessing this Whole Cake Sanji, right? Really cool pop here. Kicking with fire. Yeah, pretty cool. And next up, we have Usopp, right? Usopp is not the best character in One Piece, right? But he plays his role, and he plays his role very, very well. Slingshot guy, and I like the figure. The figure itself looks amazing, right? I'll tell you one thing about Funko is that they don't skimp on the One Piece Pops. The One Piece Pops are definitely the best line that they have, from what I see. They do these guys very well. And I think that's all of them, isn't it? We've got Miwa out of box. down here, right? Actually, this is the only one that I really don't have the box for. I crushed her box, and I I thought about throwing her away too, right? Just to make a statement to these guys who thought they could disrespect me on my stream, right? Because I used to stream and sell these guys, and these guys were like, "Huh, I want to buy that pop, but I don't want to pay what's a fair price for it." I was like, "Oh, you don't want to pay? Well, here's what I'm gonna do to your pop, right? You see this? You see this?" And I crinkle it and I crush it, and I'm like, "That's what I can do with my property, and you can't do anything about it. You want my property, but you're not gonna pay for it. Well, this is what happens." Very disrespectful to come up in my stream and do things like that. And then this one guy, right? He was like, "Oh, we're gonna buy your pop, and then we're gonna be like, oh, it's not as represented, so I'm gonna rate it bad." And I'm like, "Oh, well, you can give me my pop back. Like, who do you think you are?" It's like, yeah, yeah. Either give it back or shut up and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I blocked him, right? Very disrespectful. He's never buying from me again. And he's not getting a refund either. Did I show this yet? Spider-Punk comic cover, right? Really cool pop as well. With the mask on. Awesome. Probably one of my favorites as well. I sometimes forget I have this guy because he's always like down low on my display wall. But I think it's definitely underrated. We've got Avatar Kyoshi, right? Repping the Avatar series. One of the coolest pops that I've got. As well, she does glow in the dark. As well as Maui, right? Repping the Disney. Probably going to get rid of this guy. Just cuz. Yeah, the tattoos and everything, yeah. And this is probably like the biggest pop, right? He's bulky. This has been a very long video. Very, very long. But we aren't going to stop just yet. Because this goes beyond Funko, right? Been reading a lot of manga. And the most recent manga I read was Leviathan, right? Really cool book as well, right? I have the whole series, right? This is just the third one because the other ones are kind of in storage. But it's one of the best manga I've read in a while. There's probably like top 4 or 5 because I read Vagabond. Vagabond's obviously number 1, right? Then we've got The Horizon, right? That's number 2. Definitely a really cool manga there. And I only read manga that have good art, right? I might buy extra manga just to support the series that I like Attack on Titan or Evangelion. I bought those manga and I haven't read them, right? I tried to read them, but they have bad art, so I just left them alone. But this one has good art, right? I'll show you guys what it looks like inside. Like they're choking each other and all, all this. Right, you're killing each other and all this. Really cool, really cool. But yeah, we've got Vagabond, we've got The Horizon. I think Goodbye Area is a pretty good one. The Road is also really good. About Death Note. Oh yeah, that's what I was forgetting in the top 10 is Death Note, right? Death Note is top 10 anime. But yeah, I think that's all I have to show other than keychains. I didn't include keychains in this video, and I didn't include the minis. I didn't include sodas. So we got some of that stuff back there, but I don't want to talk about them because that would take too long and it's just not interesting. I'm going to also show off that other My Hero, just so you guys can see that. There it is in all its glory. We've got Deku and All Might, right? Funimation 2021 exclusive. I'm pretty sure Funimation got bought out. They don't even exist anymore, right? So that one's probably going for a decent amount of money. I don't even see it on the markets these days, but I like it, right? And if you're wondering how that's getting stuck up there, it's these like wall stickers I've got with like Velcro. Same with this this little Naruto board poster or whatever, but really cool. And again, that is the last Funko Pop in the collection. So if you like what you saw, leave a like, subscribe, do your thing. Peace out.